Thermopylae is one of the most famous battles from ancient Greece, and in fact, I would argue that it ranks among the most renowned battles in history. This battle is also quite controversial, so in this video I aim to provide you with the most up-to-date and accurate information available. There were two Persian invasions of Greece, the first led by King Darius and the second by his son Xerxes. Around 499 BC, during the Ionian revolt against Persian rule, Athens and several other city-states aided the Ionian cities in their struggle to free themselves from Persian control. By 492 BC, the Persians had successfully quelled the revolt, and Darius assembled a fleet to retaliate against the Greek city-states that had supported the Ionians. This marked the start of the first Persian invasion of Greece. Initially, the Persians captured several smaller islands in the Aegean Sea, before confronting the Athenians at the Battle of Marathon. After their defeat at Marathon, the Persians' campaign to conquer Greece was temporarily halted. Later, in 482 BC, Xerxes renewed his father's campaign to conquer Greece. The Persian army crossed the Hellespont and advanced through Thrace and Macedonia to a location historically known as the Hot Gates. Here, an allied force of about 7,000 Greeks prepared to make their stand, with the Spartans chosen to lead the coalition. However, the Spartans were observing the Carneia festival, which prohibited them from waging war. Instead, Sparta sent 300 men, along with one of their two kings, Leonidas. It is unclear whether these 300 were the king's personal bodyguard or specially selected warriors, but they all had living sons to carry on their name when they fall. Accompanying the 300 Spartans were about 700 helots, a class of working servants in Sparta, who fought alongside their masters. Contrary to popular belief, this detachment was likely not a suicide mission. Instead, it was a legitimate force tasked with holding the Hot Gates until the Carneia festival concluded, allowing the rest of the Spartan army to advance. However, Plutarch records that before leaving, Leonidas advised his wife, Gorgo, to marry a good man and bear strong children, which might suggest he did not expect to return. According to Herodotus, the Persian army was so vast that it stretched from sunrise to sunset, and popular legend claimed its numbers reached as high as 3 million. However, modern estimates suggest the Persian force was around 250,000, still a significant number given that the world's population at the time was about 150 million. Once positioned, Xerxes anticipated that the smaller Greek force would disband. According to Herodotus, when the Greeks did not flee, the Persians sent out scouts, and Xerxes was astonished to find that the Spartans were wrestling naked and that others were combing their long hair. Xerxes then summoned Demaratus, an exiled Spartan king, and inquired about these behaviors. Demaratus explained that these actions indicated the Spartans were preparing to risk their lives in battle. Despite consulting the oracle, Xerxes remained skeptical that such a small force could impede his progress. Herodotus reports that Xerxes waited 4 days before growing frustrated and ordering the attack. The famous phrase, "come and take them," attributed to Leonidas, is likely a myth, as it appears only in later sources. Herodotus, known for his dramatic flair, would probably have included it if it were authentic. However, the Spartan general Dienekes is reported to have said, "We will fight in the shade," in response to the threat of Persian arrows darkening the sky, which is likely a true account. The Hot Gates, where Leonidas made his stand, were named after a thermal spring at the pass. This narrow passage forced the Persians to funnel their troops, which hindered their cavalry and numerical advantage. The Hot Gates served as a natural bottleneck between central and northern Greece. Although the pass looks quite different today due to erosion, it was about 100 meters wide at the time, with the area where Leonidas positioned his forces being only about 15 meters wide. This was also the location of the Phocian Wall. The Allied forces rebuilt the wall, but the exact details of the fighting during those days remain unclear. The Greeks successfully repelled the initial waves, which were mostly composed of Medes and Scythians, and they also defeated the renowned Immortals, an elite unit of the Persian army, a name given to them by the Greeks. Most sources describe the battle as fiercely contested, with the Greeks fighting in shifts. However, by the end of the second day, the Greeks were betrayed by Ephialtes, a local farmer. Although Leonidas had been informed about a hidden goat path and had stationed a force of Phocians to guard it, the Phocians made a critical error. They retreated to higher ground upon spotting the Persians, mistakenly thinking a battle was imminent. Instead, the Persians bypassed them to flank the remaining Greek forces. Leonidas sent most of the Greeks home, but chose to remain with his Spartans, the Helots, and about 700 Thespians. Surrounded on both sides, the Greek force was soon overwhelmed, allowing Xerxes to advance into mainland Greece. That concludes our summary of the Battle of Thermopylae. I hope you found it informative. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.